Let me begin myself. So my name is Lalit and I work with Allegiant PLC and I take care of the modern workplace solution every day. And in this quick video of mine, or maybe the demonstration of mine, I'm going to go and quickly cover few scenarios, how easy you can create your SharePoint chatbot Power Apps experience in the Microsoft Teams without you writing in code, and couple of settings that our admin has to do to make your app available for your entire organization. Let me just show one of the great example from the home site. You know already the Microsoft has rolled out recently the home site experience that you can take it to the Microsoft Teams as an app. But earlier it wasn't a case where we have to really write the logic or maybe a tab and a personal tab to get your corporate pages be a part of your Microsoft Teams. What is not covered here is your navigation. So the plan is when they introduce home site as an app, they bring the new navigations be a part of it. And that's why you see there was no navigation on the top. And that's one of the limitation. So what sort of scenarios it comes and cover, right? It's covers your corporate intranet planning experience, you know, the pages and maybe one of the discovery for the news and content. And you can always take one of your communication site like crisis management. In this unprecedented time, right? We have multiple initiatives running, you know, to help our customer employees for onboarding sometime. Those experience you can always take it as and pin it. One of the thing in my company, I did it like I used the digital literacy to make my employee more efficient, smart in collaboration technology and application, right? I use Microsoft 365 learning pathways to be a part of the app, and then I'd say get started with your digital tool journey. Because in my company, we have more of a product guys who works in the manufacturing plant and data warehouse plants, right? So they need to confirm the safety checklist before they go and enter. Earlier, they do it on a paper since everything is now affected with the COVID. So they kind of really needing those mobile devices be a part of their job. Earlier, it was on the just paper. So let me just begin and say what are the considerations that we should be aware about. As I said, there's no native navigations and had to be a part of the embedded pages, and the search initiated from the teams. That's why you see the results from the Microsoft Teams perspective because there's no search within the SharePoint page for you to use. The target must be the modern site. Yes, there's possibility where you can write some of the logic with SharePoint framework, but it has to be a SharePoint framework solution which adhere the modern SharePoint best practices. The next one here is the SharePoint site using a web browser app. I think that's what it says, that you cannot just create any content. You can consume those content back into the teams, and that's what is the purpose of, you know, a communication standpoint. And page comment features is not available. The social media features like liking, disliking, and commenting and tagging the people. It's more of you to just go and consume on the go, and that's what it's all about. And if I go more of the administration side, administrator can deploy and pin that app for your end users by visiting the Microsoft Teams Admin Center. Now, if I go further, that's the app that I was trying before, that Microsoft 365 learning pathway. I use this as a solution and call it like getting started for my employees. And the best part with the Microsoft 365 learning pathway, it comes from directly from GitHub and a SharePoint, you know, the support.office.com site, and it clubbed together and delivered the rich experience for your end customer. You can always go and like build that on top of what it's coming already. To show you real quick, I'm gonna go and tell you how I have done it in the past. So I'm in my office.com, my own company. Here I go to use my lookbook.microsoft.com. In this way, I use this design called solution, and here I could say Microsoft 365 learning pathway that allows me to add this solution to my tenant. I have it already. That's why I go to my SharePoint and I show you what I created in the past. Maybe I go here and I save M365 learning pathway. So this is my site name. And here, when you add this lookbook to your tenant, it bring up over here, right? You can always find it into the SharePoint administrator portal. And this covers your simple scenarios. Hey, I want to start my using the Microsoft Teams, right? You click on it, you get to see all your Microsoft Teams related trainings directly coming from GitHub and Microsoft engineers to your experience in the SharePoint site. I haven't built that site for my end users. It's coming as a part of solution. That's a good advantage. And the site is multilingual support as well. If you see here, we can probably go and use those features as well. Now, if I have something already done with my consultant or maybe somebody who is really driving my adoption in the team, right? They might have present some of the presentations, the scenarios. You go ahead and edit these pages and add those content right here, just like a normal SharePoint page. And you're good to add any file, any document, any presentation, any images, right? As just like that. So I would appreciate you guys just go and look out the Microsoft 365 learning pathway. It is just so great that we can always go and increase our digital literacy among our employees. And if you go over here, these are the navigations that are coming on the top, Admin Success Center. So if I go to Microsoft 365 learning training, I could see a bunch of trainings are out there. I think these are the important one. Then I don't think so. I'm going to use my company employees use Forms or OneNote for their purpose. It varies. If you don't think this is not useful, you can always go and customize it from your admin center within the app, right? So if you go here called Learning Pathway Administration, you can define what all applications you want to be a part of this site and what not. And there is something called visible and hide. You see this tiny icon says visible or hide. So that's about the Microsoft 365 learning pathway. And then I can pin that specific page into this channel for the Microsoft. As you see here, you see getting started rendering the same SharePoint coming from the Microsoft 365 learning pathway. And I'm good to go and add this as a part of my Teams rollout for employees. Now, the only difference is here, you would go to Microsoft Teams, any desktop client or any of the web client, that's okay. And go to the Microsoft app manifest here. I go to here and App Studio. So first time when you're doing it, you would see the App Studio. And when you click on App Studio, here you go and click on Manifest Editor. All right, so I prepared a quick document here. Okay, just a minute. All right. All right, no issue with that. I can probably go here and show you. So here, if you go to create a new app, just click on the create a new app and choose the good name. The short name maybe get started or something. So fill this form out because this is mandatory and this has to be filled in up, and you can generate the app ID, give it a good full name, short name, description, version, about the short description, any privacy policy that you have, share across here with the URL as it's saying, right, these error. So once you do it, the main difference that I'm going to go and show you with the cognizant of time, since this session is just for only 40 minutes, I have already coming called get started here. I can show you right now. Right now it's coming the get started the same SharePoint that I just have it here, right? I'm going to go and show you how I created this experience real quick with less efforts. I'm going to go to the App Studio, click on Manifest Editor, and here you go, the get started. There you go. As I said, right, I said get started, new app for my teams. Okay, I think this is just the one that I have it. Just a minute. This is the one. Okay. I put a right name and a full name. I generate an app ID and I fill this complete form out. Then I look for the tabs. You see, there's a condition that, I mean, there's a choice that you can make. Either it's a team tab or a personal tab. So I prefer to add this as a personal tab. So right now, when you go to add a new tab, this is the form that look like where you can write name, entity ID, content URL, and a website URL. So what is that you have to do? You can click here and say get started. That's the name. You can put any ID, doesn't matter. This is very, very important that you need to frame the content URL. Let me go and open it in a notepad. This is very, very important. HTTPS, this is my tenant name, right? And this is my layout, the team slogan dot aspx spx solution true, right? This is what is important here to say. And then I have my destination that I'm telling where to go to get the content from. You see right now I have this site called M365LP. I go copy it and I go and paste it here like that. Now when I go and copy this, I'm done with this URL. I go here and this time I add this same site and save it. Now once you save this, now what next is you have something called the language, which by default comes with English and United States. Then there's a domain, right? Here you have to type your company name for the domain that your company own. In my case, it's called Empathy Technology. Likewise, you can go and create your own domain name here. Click on add, and here I can say Allegiant or something. And when you click on add, it just gets added over here. See Allegiant. So right like that, I just copied the company.sharepoint.com domain for this purpose. This is also very, very important where you see this ID. This is a constant ID which gives the consent to access the SharePoint. This is specifically ID that you use for creating any personal application, right? So this is important. So only two steps, one called tab where you have the personal tab, form the right URL as you see here, and then you come to the domain and permission, give it a domain and give it this as a permission into the AAD app ID, and you're good to go. And this is where you can see the app manifest look like. When you go to test and distribute, you see if there's any error, it will highlight over here. Otherwise, you're good to go and install it. When you click on install, right, you see get started here, install it, and you're done. So this time it automatically gets created, and you see this is my new get started, and that is something I created in the past, but right now I created this get started for you guys. Okay, now if you don't want this site to be there, right? See here it says get started, and you see this also saying get started, the same content. I wish to change the URL for my destination site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the App Studio, click on the manifest editor. I will reconfigure it to something else, the content, right? So I click on the tabs. If you see my presentation, what I mentioned, how do you add any learning pathway in a SharePoint corporate communication site? So in this example, I have a site called The Landing, which is my own company intranet or maybe modern workspace that I wanted to add Freedom Mortgage. I go here and copy this site collection, just a site, sorry. And here the get started, this time I'm going to go and modify it to the site here called Freedom Mortgage. So now when I save it, this time test and distribute, install it, add it. This time, once it gets installed, it directly show me the modern internet site. You see, This is amazing experience that you can build across the team. Whatever content you have within the SharePoint, you can always go and bring it up here. And if you give me one quick minute, I will go to this my document where I have it. Just a minute. Conference and just a minute. There you go. So I prepared this document in the past. I will share this right now in the chat so that you can always go and download it for your reference. And this has all the information, step-by-step information. How do you add this whole information like I just explained? So I'm going to go without any time waste. I'm going to go and just copy, just a minute. And I'm gonna go and share that with you guys quickly before I forget. Okay, I think I can't say it, but I can always refer the OneDrive link later. But let me know if you have any questions, because if you see what I did, it just building the the URL to point my direct the SharePoint site, and the app ID that I was talking before, you would see here, this is important information and app ID. Maybe I will just go and type this information in the chat so that you know its app ID is very, very important for us to use it. And the second is this URL. Oh, sorry. Right. Great. Now what next here? The Power Virtual Agent. So I built one of the bot, and I wanted to really show you how bot can talk to the Teams app. But before I could go and explain the Power Virtual Agent, I missed one thing in this demonstration where it says the admin center. So you need to come over here called admin. In this admin center for the Microsoft Teams, you would always go and set up a policy for your application. So here, if I go to see the dashboard, there's something called Teams apps. There are three important things. How would you ensure that your app is coming on what order? So I may want to put this to the first level, right? I can't do it, you see. I cannot drag and drop these options. But how would you do it in the theme setting? You have to go to the manage app, and this is where you can see all your custom applications, the third-party application be a part of here, and you can set the policies to not show up in the search also, you know, those things. And there's something called permission policy. For global org wide, I said allow all my end users to create their application in the teams. You can disable, you know, you can put some of the approval process, but this is important called setup policies. I expect you guys will have the error coming when you implement this solution. And here you go, called global org wide level. And this one you say, if I go and refresh this page right here, I may not see this. The other users, not me, because I'm the one who built this app. That's why it's coming to me. But how would you ensure that this application will be available forever my end user at number one position? So this is where you will set the order that, you know, I can go and add any app from my global, and I would put like get started or something. You see the get started is already selected. Then I would say I need a company intranet. I go and add this company intranet. Then I say edit, and this company intranet, I can move it to the second position from the top, and I say save it. Now this time I'm making the experience for my end customer to play with the navigation in the left hand side. You see this left hand side. The moment I refresh it, you see some changes to be done right away. Just a minute, let me see if I have to save this one. I saved it. Let me go and check real quick. Yeah, that's coming. All right, so it may be some like kind of lacking, but this is how you should select the order of the way you want your applications be coming. So you can always set that order here. Now, before I could move on to the next topic, the same way your Power Virtual Agents be a part of your development, the out of the box development, the low code, no code. I hope everybody know about this chatbot functionality. So the Power Virtual Agent is a standalone application that comes with the Power Platform family where you can build your chatbot utilizing the topics, the dialogues, and it has a very good reportings coming out of your sessions, the escalation, the event, and the active sessions, around that. And I think there are four things. How do you really engage naturally with your end customer and users with the bot? How will you democratize AI? As you know, there is so much needed to be done when you build a bot, but with this low code no code platform you can really do a kind of a job of data scientist as well. There's no need of those high-end developers to really build those bot experience for you. As far as you have the data source ready, you are just good to go and start your questions and enable it for whatever experience you want to access. For instance, you want to build the bot and take it to the SharePoint, right? I can in this team itself, if I go and say this bot is coming here, I have my company intranet, I have my bot here, and I say here hi, right? Now the same bot is working really, really classic here within this SharePoint and Microsoft Teams context. First of all, I have this company intranet in the SharePoint. There I added my bot. As a part of me adding the company intranet as a personal app for my end users, I'm not only giving them an opportunity to access the SharePoint within the teams, I'm also giving an opportunity where they can query the database, query the bot, with the keywords, and you see this is the coming. Where's the Legion corporate headquarters? This is Dublin, Ireland. Yes, you answered my questions. Absolutely yes, I like it. Excellent. No thanks. You see the whole session gets created right in there. Likewise, if I go to this one and I'll tell you where I add this before. I have added this experience in the landing page over here where you see this is my chatbot. I quickly go and show you the settings. Here what I did, just the embed code, just an iframe I use. So how would you get these iframe code be done and coming from the virtual agent? So what I'm trying to explain you here is you are good to create a bot with low code, no code skills, get the iframe added to the SharePoint, take your SharePoint or bot, whatever you want, to your Microsoft Teams. Likewise, if you go here within my Teams, here I have something called bot. You see my first bot, the same bot I added as a application in the left where I go and pin it, and the same experience I drive it as a bot. So you have an option to take your bot as an app to the Microsoft Teams. You have a choice to make to take your bot to SharePoint and then take SharePoint pages to the Microsoft Teams. It works as smooth, you see. And how did I build this? I'm not jumping into the Power Virtual Agent because I know there are a couple of things that I wanted to highlight here before I could move on. In the App Studio, if you go here, I am just making only a difference by clicking to bot. The first screen is constant. When you create an app, go ahead and fill this form out. It is very heuristic in nature. You can just go and understand what they're asking, put the right thing there. If in case you have error, just keep renaming it to something else, because sometimes you fill the both text with the same name. Don't do it. As you see, my this is called short desk. This is my first part. If I write something here like short desk or something, it will be an error because it says you cannot add full description and the short description the same text, right? So feel free to fill it up by yourself. I don't need a tab, right? I need a bot to be configured. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add a bot. How do you add a bot? Either you can go and create one of your existing bot, or you can create a new bot. When you create a new bot, this is the ID that is coming from my bot. As I told you, this is the iframe that's coming from the bot. Likewise, there is just one bot ID you are caring about that you need to implement in order to get this bot working. Just the bot ID and make it personal. You are good. Other settings are remain same. So what I'm trying to explain you today is that these are so many good things out where you don't need to hit a ball and do a lot of research and trainings. It's just straightforward. You go and create a team. If you expect a personal tab in a form of bot, go ahead and add a bot with a bot ID. If you're looking for a SharePoint to add, click on the tabs, create the destination URL as I just pinged you in the chat, and that's what you care about, right? And everything is just working as smoothly. I have also explained you a couple of the administration tasks here, which you might need to go and explore. And then the things comes in for Power Virtual Agent. And let's just go and focus the Power Virtual Agent, and I'll show you how to build it quickly within a minute. So everybody knows about it. I'll just probably skip the slide. This is easy, right? What you see here is a test, and this is the canvas where you can see the results of your expressions, the responses from the user, right? And likewise, you have something to start with the topic. So you have a FAQ with your company hosted in public. You get those URLs on an FAQ page and embed it over here. So you get those FAQ question here by referring that as a web page link. So my bot will take care of all that automation, and this bot will understand all your FAQ questions and the answer and make it a part of the bot what you create within the seconds of time. And then you can take it to next level where you have a website to be added, the blog site, maybe your personal WordPress blog where you write a lot of your achievements or your learnings, your case studies, maybe Facebook. So a lot of things that you can do with this. At the same time, this is the out of the box report that comes with the Power Virtual Agent here, and that's what it's coming here as well. Let me quickly go and show you how easy it is to you to create this bot experience real fast. I'll go here and I'll look for powerba.microsoft.com, for instance, and that's called Power Virtual Agent URL. If you don't remember it, don't worry about it. Just go to the office.com and hit Power Apps. In Power Apps, you can always click here in the left called Chatbot. And this is a chatbot where you can go and create one for yourself. And there's a list that is available in the organization who has created the chat in the last chatbot. So here, what I can do, I can go ahead and create a new chatbot for yourself, for us. And there I would just click on the new chatbot. The same experience over here, you see the same thing comes over here. So I'm going to go and close everything here. I'm going to go and name it like the Teams Fest and the language is English. Yes, created. This is going to take some while. Since this is taking some time, I'm going to go and keep explaining you a couple of other features. Then I can always go and show you how you can start your first chatbot. Give me a minute here. All right. So when you create your first bot, here you would see your environment and the bot that you are in. Now what I need here, the topics, right? And these are the topics where I see that you have these questions and the phases, how many times that people can ask the same question. For instance, I want to say hi bot, right? And people might say hi, people might say hello, people might say good morning, right? These are the phrases that a person may ask your question called hi bot, and you are good to add multiple phrases up to 5 to 10 so that you will always say hi there or something, right? And when you say add, put a description, it's called start conversation or something, right? Just a minute. I go to authoring the, sorry, save topic. When you save this topic, it gets added to the topic. Topic are the questions that your bot has, and when you go here to click topic, this time hi bot is there, it's active right now. But what is next that you wanted to show? Go to the canvas here and say when you say, when somebody hi bot, and you can say uh, um, welcome to the team fest. Likewise, you can do a multiple here, like you can call up a Power Automate, you can show up a message, you can ask questions, you can ask, hey, write your email address and things like that. And that's when, let me quickly go and show one sort of example so that you know how it's working. And when I say here, this time when I say to here call hi there, you see what I use the phrases called hi there, the first one, and it says welcome to the team fest. Easy, right? And people may ask this way, hi bot, same thing, because that's a question. And these are my trigger phases, right? So if you see, what do you mean by the topics? The first thing that you should know in this chatbot is your topics. How easy it is. You just need to hit the new topic, create your questionnaires, the phrases, and you are done. Now, what is next? I have already a page called FAQ. I can go and give it a URL. Likewise, I can go to Allegiant. There's a FAQ page, right? I go and copy this page URL because here all my FAQs are there. I go what? I go here and direct the link and say add and start. Now, what's happening in the background? It is actually querying real time the pages in the public domain. It hits this page directly and get all the questionnaires be a part of your suggested topic, and then you can move all your question from suggested to existing. There's something called existing that you see here. There's something called suggested. So you chosen here, we chose suggested because we don't want to create our questionnaires. Instead, we want to rely upon those FAQ website that we have already. And this is what you see. The first question that you see, what is Allegiant ticker symbol, right? If I go here, for instance, what is Allegiant stock? Just a minute. Stock ticker. Just a minute. Yeah, there you go. What is Allegiant stock ticker symbol? I go here, move to the topics, because that's how you move from suggested to topic. And when you click on the topic this time, you see what is Allegiant ticker symbol, and you click on it. You enabled it for your end users to access this, and people might say, hey, what is LE stock, right? People might say LE price, right? I save it, and this time I'm going to go and say hi to my bot. Okay, just a minute. Hi. And now I would say here very quickly LE stock. The LE stock gonna go and give me an answer called LE. The LE stock symbol is LE because if you see the website here, the answer for this is LE, right? So how easy it is for us to build these conversation boxes, sorry, conversational dialogues with the bot and track them down here. Look for the entities in the right. These are the validation that you do, the analytics report that I was talking before, it's right way available here that you don't need to deal with anything. It's right there available for us to use it. And then the next thing is publish. When you go to publish, I think this is where you can always go and hit it here. Since just a cognizance of time, I still want to give this floor to Prashant. So I'm going to go and make it a little quick here. So anything that you need from me, please reach out to
Hey,
me.
hey, Mohan, please feel free to use your entire time because most likely I will record the session and send to the organizer so they can upload on the YouTube.
Perfect. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So here when you go to say publish, right? In the publish, when you click, you get to see a lot of channels where you can go and publish this one. So when I say publish, then I go to channels. That's the next screen I would see. And if you're taking this bot to a SharePoint or maybe a website, I click on the custom website. This is the iframe I was talking, right? The same iframe, I can go to this website and I go here and I'll show you quickly how you can add this here in the SharePoint site. So I'm gonna go and use it like iframe, maybe embed. Yeah, there you go. Now here I just paste this one quickly. I can set the height and width, maybe I would call it a height of 400 pixel. Yeah. All right, let's just go ahead with this. All right, I believe I did not publish my bot, so let me just go ahead and publish it. You see now, this is what I just published it here, right? The bot here called SPS event. The same one, you can see the SPS event coming, and here I can use hi, and the same thing coming, right? I put it like a Legion price or something. You see, and these things, are coming like your conversation are just like getting active, So I think this covers a lot in terms of you to really get to start with the chatbot experiences. At the same time, you can always click on Microsoft Teams, and this opens up a different things altogether. Here you can copy the link, you can edit the details, and you can open the bot. When I click on open the bot, you see it asks me where do you want to open it. I want to open it within the web itself, right? So the same bot is going to be available for me to use it within the app directly. Earlier, it has to follow certain processes, but with the new version, you can access the same bot here itself. Any questions? Maybe I'm making so fast. Please feel free to unmute yourself, maybe drop some questions in the chat. I would answer them because the kind of I thought I have less time, so that's why I just try to cover a lot in that less time. But what I'm really trying to explain you here that building the chatbot, the SharePoint, and across the experience, right? No matter where you're accessing the information, once it is built, maybe your SharePoint, maybe your bot, maybe your, you know, the different SharePoints, you can always, look for the requirement and, come up with the solution. Okay, do you need to access the bot within the Teams? Then follow this. Here you say you can always open this app. Since I am the administrator, the global administrator account, that's why it allowed me to open this bot in the app directly, or else you can submit this for your admin approval. When you submit the admin approval, it will actually tells the message, and when you say save, it hits the email to those people who are admin to your to your tenant, and they will accept it, and that's when you get a notification back in your inbox. The other that I never talk about it is this here. When you go to manage here, there are some channels, the security, the details. There were some questions in the past when I represented this topic in a bigger community like the Today Team Fest. They asked me here, how do you managing the access, the security, and that sort of information, right? So I think this is where you can find yourself. What's your name? You want to make some change to your icons or things like that. The channels, the security. Here you can set up maybe the sharing, the access, authentication, and the web challenge security. So if I click on the sharing, I can always go and share with my employees, right? I can go to say access, who all I want the access to, and this sharing is the same experience what you see here in this, right? When you go to SPS event, here you see the owner. Likewise, if you go to the sort of the list experience, I see it because I am the owner. But once it is shared with me also, I can see that chatbot over here as well. So this thing you can always go and check this out for your when you have time. And there's something called skills that you can say add skills. So skill extend your bot conversion capabilities by automating series of action within a topic. This is very, very new, and this is something that I never have explored and never got a chance to explore. I would appreciate you guys go ahead and explore this. But manifest file is very, very important because everything within the teams works on the manifest file, right? Since I covered the SharePoint, I covered the chatbot 2 and 4th experience. Let's just not wait for, let's just also discuss the project Oaklet, right? So here you can always go and add your Power Apps, right? That's what I did it over here. So when you add your Power Apps like this, that's called a new project called Project Oaklet, right? This Project Oaklet allows you to create your Microsoft Teams extended application based on the Power Apps, and you don't need to worry about your data sources because everything is coming in this experience for you. Likewise, you can always have an experience called Flow that you can go and add it. So these are my daily things that I do every time. I kind of add them and see what are my approvals coming for. This is just a new enriched experience for you to probably start working, developing, think about it, what's important, what like sit with your business and see what they're expecting. Are they expecting any approvals within the teams or a outlook? So there are so much chaos right now in the market, but choose wisely the options that are available for us to use. I can just go ahead and create a Power Apps within a second of here. I can say new app or I create an app within a five minutes. Then I can project this app to the channel. So you see here all my teams, what I see here, the teams, right? The Project Eagle, where I added this employees idea, sorry, in the human resource, right? So I went ahead and create this as Power Apps. And in the Power Apps, what I use a great idea. So when you say create an app, when you choose where do you want to add this here, and I say create, it's creating me an app. Likewise, you can always go a new app. That's also opens up a lot of options for you to select from the template as well. So you can click on the see more, get into the human resource that I was showing before, and you can start building some more application within it. And this is the app that you see here called Employee Ideas. This app I created using the Microsoft Teams project, sorry, Power Apps together in the Microsoft Teams Client Studio, and that's called Employee Ideas. So you can always go and start a new campaign, right? And this whole is working with out of the box. And I can track my items here. And I like both and everything I can do. Search it as well. Any questions?